December 29th, 1963. The town is Chicago. The two best football teams in the world meet in a deadline to glory.
That was the first game I ever went to. My uncles couldn't have picked a better game for me to go to.
No one has played middle linebacker better than Dick Butkus.
In my opinion, the greatest defensive football player that ever lived. Gale Sayers once asked me who was better, me or Peyton. I said, if I need one game, I want you. If I need a season, I'll take Walter. He says, that sounds fair. Changed the whole culture of the Chicago Bears. Enjoyed working with the guy, enjoyed being friends with the guy, and he's a legend.
You're 100% right, but you're a pain in the butt.
I actually cried when they won the Super Bowl. I couldn't believe it.
Hey, I just have one thing to say. We all have bragging rights over the whole goddamn country.
Lovie Smith was a heck of a coach. Now, he's not a Lovie Smith fan, but he made me a Lovie Smith fan. Matt Nagy sabotaged his career. Him and Trubisky had something good going. They made the playoffs twice in 4 years. He took his career, threw it in the dumpster, and now he's getting coffee for Andy Reid. I like the Bears for third place this year, but surprise us. 5 to 6 teams a year that make the playoffs are new teams that didn't make it the year before. Hopefully they'll be one of them.
Welcome, everyone, to a new edition of the Mike North Advantage. My name is Aldo Gandia, and beside me is the man of the hour, Mike North. How are you, my friend?
Are you exhausted yet?
Oh, yeah.
Are you tired? Huh?
Yes.
Been a rough 11, 12 weeks, hasn't it?
It
like
really has.
Pregnancy, although I've never been pregnant. You get kicked in the stomach every day, every Sunday around, I don't know, 3:30. Oh, it's still here. It's still here. What's up, Aldo? How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing well today. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Yes, it's not. You heard of the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour? It's a Chicago Bears Comedy Hour. That's what I'm going to rename the show. Okay?
I love it.
That's it. There's no more crying. There's no more gnashing of the teeth. They don't gnash the teeth. Why should I gnash the teeth?
Yeah, right.
I've been gnashing my teeth for 60 years. I got nothing left. I got stubs. Okay, I got to eat soup with a fork. Make sure I get a noodle on top. Enough is enough. But I'm going to tell you something. It's been a beautiful, beautiful thing to watch because it's really hard for anybody to criticize since they rolled with the Chicago Bear ownership. And I guess the only guy free to say whatever he wants is me because I've been right about this since 2020. And Aldo's right there to tell you for it. I've been arguing and saying we should have never gotten rid of the leadership of a Montgomery, a Roquan Smith. We had a quarterback set in Mitch Trubisky. We made the playoffs 2018, 2020. And I see my buddy today, Carmen DeFalco. I just got to get to him by Friday so nothing happens to him. I mean, we make a good salary. I make a good salary for the odds couple I saw him on today. He went all the way to San Francisco to watch the ass kicking. Okay. And I saw him on his, I don't know if anybody else saw it, check out ESPN 1000. But I told him literally 5 years ago, why do you want to break it up? Why do you want to get rid of Mitch? Why do you want to get rid of I'm just tired of it. Well, good. Enjoy yourself. That was not the answer I was looking for. And he says it. He said it that day. I go, what do you mean you're tired of it? We're winning some games. We're 500 at least. Okay. We're 8-8 the last year. And, people laughed. They said, well, they only gave him that playoff spot because of COVID. Well, now it's a permanent playoff spot. So Mitch took heat for even getting the Bears into playoffs. Okay. Oh, well, they're 8-8, but but that was because of COVID, and we're going to just add it. But that's going to change. No, it's a permanent playoff spot now. So we made 2 playoffs in 4 years, and people wanted to change, and now everybody's miserable. But who am I going to listen to? I mean, I look at some of the scores that people are predicting, and yesterday, and I'll get to those in a minute. But it's the perfect holiday gift. That's right. It's Raul Jewelers. Let me tell you something. You go to Raul Jewelers, you look around, they got a vast variety of whatever you want. I'm big on brooches, but I'm the only one. Everybody else likes the diamond rings, like the necklaces and everything else. They love me over there. I love them over there. You walk in. It's in Hoffman Estates on Barrington Road. You walk in, make sure you need some sunglasses walking in because the sparkles hit you when you walk in. There's cases all over the place. It's a very beautiful place, very clean. So check it out. Right off of 94, you get on to the get off at Barrington Road and go north, and then you're right there. So Brad Gams, Ryan, just wow. Call them at 847-765-3000. Set up an appointment or go get a deal from somewhere else, think it's good, and then tell them to give you the Mike North deal, okay? When you come in, or the deal that Aldo and Mike like here on the Fabulous Power Room, okay? So make sure you check it out. It's one-stop shopping, folks. You got, and it's not as expensive as you think. Believe me, I've shopped there, so I know. Yes. I think the thing that I'm bothered by is that the same people that criticize ownership ride with ownership. I saw yesterday, for instance, I saw a quarterback in his first year who I think is going to be okay. Okay, but we're in a division that has 3 playoff teams probably in it: Green Bay, Detroit, and Minnesota. I said basically, and I tweeted it to my pal, or X'd it, or whatever you want to call it, Carmen DeFalco. And I looked at him. He looked so sad. And it basically is the realization that you're going to be a grandfather someday with grandchildren, and the Bears may not have a Super Bowl yet. Okay?
I saw that. Yes.
Aldo's here to tell you that. In 1985, how old were you, Aldo?
1985, I was 23.
Okay. And at that time, you had no grandchildren running around. Jules wasn't around. Donna wasn't around. I mean, you were working downtown. And then a mere 40-some years later, my fruition for what I told Carmen is going to happen. You are a grandfather, okay? And you're still waiting for your second Super Bowl victory. We got one. It starts at the top. It's a messed up organization. They don't know which way they're going. If you've ever run businesses, folks, and my wife and I have run 4 or 5 of them, plus Aldo and I do a good job of what we do. Plus, when I was an everyday guy on sports radio, okay, I knew exactly, okay, what we had to do and how we had to do it. The Chicago Bears have no rhyme or reason. They have no style. They have no type of philosophy. Their fan base is broken. Okay. See, it's so broken that they wanted Thomas Brown to be the head coach over all these other people we're hearing, based on he never has won a game as an offensive coordinator. And yesterday I was excited. I bet the San Francisco 49ers money line. Okay. So that means it was a minus 185 on 100. Okay. I said there's no way they can beat San Francisco at San Francisco with a road record of 0-5 and having lost 6 in a row with a first-year coach. And I took it on the odds couple. You know who didn't take it on our shows? Everybody else. I looked at Chicago sports, Greg Braggs and those guys, 4 or 5, picked up 4 of the 6, picked the Bears. I looked at the Sun Times. All 3 guys took the Bears. What are we missing here, folks? We're missing knowledge of the fans. We're missing Meatball Island people. Okay? That whatever the Bears say, they go, yeah, get rid of Rowe. He's too expensive, Roquan Smith. Get rid of Mitch. He stinks. He's only 29 and 21. Get rid of David Montgomery. He's not a little bit. You say you hate ownership, and you go with everything they throw at you. You go with everything they throw at you, and you get brainwashed. You get brainwashed. We broke up a playoff team, regardless. One that had won 2 out of the last 3 years in the playoffs. We made the playoffs 2 of the last 3 years, and we broke it up because it was time to pay. And until people realize they're not in it to win it, they're not in it to win it, but neither are the fans. When you have guys like Belichick Kingsbury, Vrabel, who knows how many other people. And the first guy you guys want to get hired is Thomas Brown. Seriously. You want to get out of this malaise by bringing in him? He coached Carolina last year. Frank Reich was calling the plays as the head coach. Okay? He went 0-6. That's the guy that they wanted. So just remember, when we go out and get a coach, everybody in America, Frank Reich will be good. Yeah, he'll be good with Carolina. Yeah, he'll be good. He's gone. But here's what he did before he left. I don't know if you'll hear this today anywhere else. He gave Thomas Brown the play calling duties for Bryce Young. And they went after that 2-11. And Bryce Young got even more broken. So now Carolina doesn't keep him. Carolina lets him go and everybody else. And he comes here. Same scenario. Although he is handling a quarterback a little bit better than last year. But this deal where I saw where Tom Moore is a 46-year veteran of coaching. Okay? He's been with 4, 5, 6 teams. He helped Ben Johnson design the Detroit Lion thing, the offense. He's helped LaFleur in Green Bay. Help. He's not in the Hall of Fame, but everybody loves him. He's helped make Tom Brady. Okay? We don't have anybody like that over there. We don't have no major football people. We have an inexperienced signal caller who people want to see become head coach. I kept my mouth shut because you can't argue with Meatball Bear fans. You can't. You can't. You tell them this was wrong. Oh, no. But I hate their ownership. But we're with them on this one. How about you? Yeah, me too. I hate their ownership, but I'm with them on this. They've gone along with everything. The Meatball fans, which number more than when I was on every day. Okay? Because I got news for some. Some in radio, some in podcasting. You're Meatball too. You don't want to tread. You don't want to make waves. Okay? You want to be careful. No. Now everybody's aggravated. What didn't you see 4 or 5 years ago that you finally see now? Why would you want a first-year lawyer like Thomas Brown instead of maybe a Belichick? Because like I said, it doesn't matter because the Bear fan base is conditioned to go as low as they can for coaches. They'll criticize Eberflus, but bring in the assistant to Shane Waldron. Demand the best. Make them spend their money. Poles cannot be GM at the end of the year. You're going to let that guy who hasn't built a football team. We went from opposite now to what it used to be. It used to be for years. We need a winning quarterback. Even going back to Cutler. We need a winning quarterback because everything else was set up. Now we got a quarterback that might be worth something and nothing else is set up. Ryan Poles put together one of the worst offensive lines and overpaid for some in history. He put together, and I called it right on X yesterday. I'm watching the game. They got 4th and 1. I just, this is how I do it. No, I don't really do it like this. I look down. I said, they're going to sneak it. The Bears line is made of putty. And boom, Purdy gains 2 yards on a sneak. We have no defensive line. We have no offensive line to speak of. Okay? We probably need 4 quality players on each side of the ball. We need a couple linemen. We need another linebacker. We need another defensive back. Okay? We need a backup running back. We need another tight end. I see Brock Bowers. I'll give you folks a perfect example. Brock Bowers has 89 catches at tight end. He was available to the Bears. Now, You say, well, wait, we got Cole Kmet. Yeah. And they got Mike Mayer. Excuse me, Mike Mayer from Notre Dame. They have 2 tight ends. Cole Kmet has 42 catches. A rookie out of Penn State is 89. 89. Because he's a special player. I'm not saying get rid of Cole. I'm saying they should have added it to tight end. And I don't know for the life of me how the tight end is the quarterback's friend. That's what everybody says. The tight end is your friend. He throws the ball once to him, and Cole drops it. I mean, really, he wasn't in the spotlight too much yesterday. We're not seeing our stars. DJ Moore is a nice possession receiver now, but he can get deep. Keenan Allen is the same type of way. We got a set team on offense. Our quarterback is learning 14 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. I'm not down on him. But he's a confused man. He's a confused man. He doesn't want to thread the needle on some passes. He'd rather throw it away. He's protecting his interception record for some reason instead of going for it. He doesn't want to turn over the ball, but you got to eventually put some touchdowns down. But I'm not upset with him. I'm upset with the rest of the team. And Jalen Johnson and the rest of you on defense, shut up. I've been listening to guys like you. I go back to Donnell Wolford, kid. I go back to them all. I go back to some guys that were better than you. Alan Ellis. Donnell Wolford was just as good. Okay? I like you as a player, but you shot your mouth off, and then now you guys got to accept full responsibility. Period. End of story. It's an ugly situation. And let me tell you something. I wasn't lying when I told Aldo and Carmen, well, Aldo and me, we're done. We're never going to see the new stadium. That I can promise you. And why they would want to put Kevin Warren and make him the final decision, or Ryan Poles for football players when the guy was brought in to bring in the stadium? And if I set up a hot dog cart on 53, it would be an improvement over what they got over there. That's not a bad idea. Anyway, that's my take on the Bears. We're going to be gone for a long time. We're not going to be relevant. The Green Bay Packers, the Detroit Lions, and the Minnesota Vikings are bona fide. And we're not. We're not. We're not bona fide. We're filled with people that have false hope. You know, and that's just the way it is. If I took over the Bear team next year, I'm wiping out the whole front office. They're gone, everybody. We're starting over. We're starting over. You can't have a guy 14-34 as your GM and more games left. They're going to probably, and here's another thing. All you folks that had the over and under of 8.5, you're done. And I said Thomas had to win 3 of 5. I just saw enough yesterday. He's not head coach Timber. He's got to, like I said here, when are you going to start listening to me? Been 33 years, for Christ's sake. Let him go and become a decent offensive coordinator. He was a fish out of water yesterday, a deer in headlights he was ever close to. Period. Had no idea what to do. None of them. And Eric Washington, I don't want to see you again after this year. I want you gone too. I'll sweep your ass and sweep his ass out, and we're going to hopefully you don't get some new coaches, because the new coach, whoever picks him, I think Elderwood should be allowed to pick his own coaches. I don't want to hear, well, we're going to keep Thomas Brown around to call the plays. We talked Vrabel into doing. No, you got to clean house. The Bears have a lower approval rating right now than Congress, period. I trust Congress more, and I don't trust them at all. Then I trust this hierarchy with that structure at Halas Hall to bring us a championship.
Camato Inspector says Thomas Brown. He's quoting Thomas Brown. I say cool football quotes.
Oh, I like the part where he's trying to teach me it's a violent game. I had to fight my way into the stadium when we snuck in. You don't have to tell me it's a violent game. We have a head coach. We have a head coach telling you his philosophy of football being violent and aggressive. You got to have the players. And the only people that didn't know they didn't have the players were the players. And they're finding out in film today, if the Bear coaches that are there know how to break it down in a proper way, that they don't have the players. They're all looking at their film going, we suck. And I give Caleb Williams 100%. Everybody was hemming and hawing. And here's Caleb Williams. And I'm liking him more and more. Get him somebody. We got our ass kicked. That's it, kid. Don't sugarcoat it. Tell it like it is. You're a man. You can admit when you got your ass kicked. The other guys are in a disillusional state. That whole damn organization is in a disillusional state.
So, Mike, are you advocating that Kevin Warren fire Ryan Poles and begin the search for a GM and a head coach for the 2025?
I'm advocating that if he's there at the end and they keep him for next year and he gets to pick the coach, it's going to be the wrong move. He gave the new coach. What's he going to give the coach? The players that he brought? I think you got to start out clean. You know, I hear this. It's not in my style. From talk show hosts and radio hosts and podcast, it's not my style to see a guy get fired. Okay, but then when the guy gets fired, oh, it had to be done. It had to be done. Wait, I thought you said it wasn't in your. You wait till afterwards because you don't want to be a bad guy. Okay, I don't care. That's why I've been around 33 years. I tell the truth about the Bears. Ryan Poles, if they lose his next 2-3 games in a row, will be 14-37, 38. They got 4 games left. 14-38. You can't come back. Somebody with sense would tell you that. He's 14-38, and you're going to let him pick out the groceries again? And Kevin Warren, okay, shouldn't be firing anybody. He shouldn't be there. He should be given his papers because he screwed up the whole stadium thing. Even Aldo. I've known the guys. I know him like a brother now. Even Aldo's got the patience of Job. But even he, and I know it, last week sort of, not lots, but sort of exploded about the stadium deal. Saying, quote, "It's ridiculous, Mike." I go, Jesus, he's on my side for a change. Holy Christ. I went like this, you know? But we're talking about agendas. We're talking about hirings. We're talking about dysfunctional coaching, players that aren't good enough, a stadium that won't get built, an owner that's too old, from what I understand, unless she wants to get in front of the podium. I'm trying to make her feel younger. I tried. I called her Ginny today. Maybe she couldn't, you know, but that didn't work. But I know people that see her at church that say she's fine. Get in front of the mic. Tell everybody how disappointed you are in front of your. Tell everybody again how disappointed you are in your family structure of the Chicago Bears. And you know what? It would be the first time in history if she fired that useless George. Mm-hmm. Okay, and I mean useless. Okay, when your big deal about an owner is your umpire, it's Sycamore. There's a problem. Okay,
yeah.
And the issue of we're not going to have swearing. I heard Adam John say this today. You're right. It's a man's game. Okay, if you don't like it, don't stick around. And then with Hard Knocks, they took out the fights. This ain't a Cub Scout troop. This ain't Boy Scout troop. You are the Chicago Bears. You're called the Monsters of the Midway. Okay? Okay? I mean, that's basically it. And you've taken the teeth, Virginia, and the McCaskey family out of the Chicago Bears.
Well, and I that's my biggest problem with Kevin Warren is, first of all, he can't get a stadium built, which is why he was hired. And secondly, he's the one behind the Hard Knocks. Let's not show anybody swearing. He's the big Christian guy. You know, we have to behave like Christian gentlemen. He doesn't have football fiber in him, and so I'm afraid that he's going to make really bad decisions. And so, you know,
okay,
Virginia.
Let me ask you something. I'm Kevin Warren. I'm Kevin Warren. I come in to you. You're running the Bears. Okay, so I'm the McCaskey. Let's say I'm McCaskey, you're coming in. You know what? We're thinking of cutting out the swearing. What are you going to say? No.
Yeah, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say, well, listen,
there was a fight. There was a fight. That's what Hard Knocks is all around. I want it cut out.
Yeah.
Are you crazy?
Right.
That's why the show's on.
Right.
To show the competition, to show the brutalness of the game. And you turn it into the ice capades. You turn it into the ice capades. You can't say bitch. Oh, yeah. Oh, camel toe. Can I tell you something? I feel good about this because the people, you'll have the one guy, Mac, well, he's black, and that's why. No, I buried Ted Phillips for 20 years. You were sitting in that position and you act like Ted Phillips and this guy, you're going down. You're going down. That's it. Yep. And he came in out of nowhere, doesn't know how to go about the stadium, was surprised. You brought somebody in from out of town. He grifted you. I hear he's a giant ass kisser of the McCaskies. Giant ass kisser. Because he knows. And when you say Kevin Warren, it was his deal. I would imagine they asked George in Virginia, and they said, okay.
Oh, absolutely. And George in Virginia might have presented the thought first to Kevin, and Kevin enforced it. He didn't fight back. So I totally agree. There is one question here I want to sneak in before we move on. Scottish Bear says, no, not that one. Scottish Bear.
No, I saw that one. No, I heard it all week that Thomas Brown should be the next head coach of the Chicago Bears. Please.
Well, there were a lot of people. There was no doubt a lot of people, but I think that was more out of hope. The guy was inspirational during his press conferences. He was saying the right things, but clearly his debut as a head coach was a disaster. A disaster. Yeah, now he's got four more games. If he goes 4-0, would you reconsider him as a potential head coach?
If he goes 4-0, I'll put him up for sainthood. Okay. I'll write the Pope myself. I'll go, listen. I'll go like this. What's the guy's name? What's the Pope's name? Johnny? What is it?
I don't know.
Dear Pope. We just
it's
had
probably
a
John
coach.
Or Paul.
We just had a Pope, dear Pope. We just had a Bear coach win 4 in a row. Nomine Patris, Sanctorum. You ought to know something. We couldn't have. To be honest, God, truth. We couldn't have 4 wins in a row if we had the greatest magicians in the world.
Mm-hmm.
If Christ came down from heaven. That's just how I haven't landed. The road's flying. If I win 4 in a row, I could be the next coach, Jesus. Whoa. Let me call the Baptist. Johnny, they want to win 4 in a row. If they won 4 in a row, Elmo, you got my blessing. Let me ask you this. If he loses next week badly, should he ever be mentioned again? As the head coach?
No, he shouldn't. He should not. He should not. Absolutely.
This is how men work. Men work like this. They reach a happy medium. Yeah, I'll go for 4 in a row. But if they lose again, when I saw everybody taking the Bears, I just called the money line. And they go, well, yeah, but it's 185. I go, I don't care. They're only getting 3.5. Mm-hmm. The Bears. And then when you hear people saying, well, San Francisco has a lot of injuries. Well, first of all, Brock Purdy played. Deebo Samuel played. But they're missing their second string is better than us. Their second string guys. They're running backs.
Isaac Guerrero.
So I was like this after the first quarter. And then I was like this after the second. And then I was like this, and I shut it off. Because though I bet the money line, I was disgusted. Mm-hmm. I was disgusted. I was absolutely peeved at the effort, and everybody's to blame. This is one of those deals. And if you're Eberflus, because BB asked me, she goes, "What do you think Eberflus is doing right now?" When it was like 31-7 or something, mm-hmm. I go, he's probably having a beer and saying, I still deserve to be here, but I screwed up at the end. But if I had won those games, I'd still be here. So he's blaming himself, but he's also seeing what he had to try to coach. And that's it. So everybody got screwed on this deal. Everybody's going to end up being screwed. I don't know when you have them being relevant in the North again, Aldo. I have no idea.
I will say this. One of the things that I wish Thomas Brown would have done. He was announced as head coach on Friday, and then he asked management if he could go home for the weekend to spend with his family. And I thought that was a bad move. He should have stayed here in Chicago. He should have talked to his coaches. Please give up Thanksgiving plans. We got work to do. Yeah. You know, I've worked on Christmases for my boss, and he had to do that for the Chicago Bears. That team looked unprepared, and you know, he only worked 5 days to prepare for the game, and that's not right. That's right.
Another thing. That was a good catch. That's another thing. If I'm named head coach of the Bears, I was in the Army. I didn't go home for Christmas or Thanksgiving. I missed my first Christmas and Thanksgiving because I was supposed to go to Vietnam. I was in Kansas waiting for orders. I worked. I used to make ice for the Park District. We worked many a New Year's Eve, a New Year's night. You were in TV. I was in TV. Radio. I worked every day. I've never missed a day. Okay. They wanted me to take off like for Christmas. I didn't want to take off sometimes. They made me take my sick days. There's a thing called work ethic that is lost here. And there's a lot of talking. I mean, when the embarrassment for Poles is simply the situation where he said, we're going to own the North and never give it up. I heard that and I just chuckled. I go, this kid, he's too young for this job. He's going to start talking. Does he know who's in division with him? Then I read something. We'll be in the Super Bowl by 2023. Look it up. Look it up. You can't be this wrong. You can't be this wrong. You can't. And let me ask you this. If the Bears go 1-3 the way out, he's gone. I mean, I think the Bears got to go 4-0 for him.
You might be right.
Not for Thomas Brown. Thomas Brown's going to get another job.
Yeah.
Okay. And then somebody else will, you know, I'm just afraid that if he was let go yesterday, they'd be going, who else from this staff can we get as a head coach? I don't want anybody from the staff anywhere near anybody.
You're making too much sense.
Downward slide.
You're making way too much sense, Mike.
I was at my mom's 95th birthday. I want to wish her a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mrs. North.
Yeah, happy birthday, Mom. And we had that Lou Malnati's in Lincolnwood. My uncle and, you know, we're cousins of Cole Kmet.
Yeah.
And my uncle said, well, what do you think? My uncle Leo says, well, what do you think about what's going to happen to the Bears? I said, they're not winning for another decade. We're so far behind now because we had something going. We poured it up thinking we could do better. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'd rather have Justin Fields right now because he's more exciting. He used to get us out of trouble. I remember there was a 3rd and 17. He had 13. He's running. He's got 18. Yeah. I mean, you know, Caleb can run, but he's not that dynamic. And you just wonder if we kept Fields for another year with Caleb and, like, you know, seeing what happened there, maybe that would have been possible because I heard Penix say today he's happy he's not playing.
Yeah.
He's happy he gets to watch Kirk Cousins. When is everybody going to adopt it? Because even Tom Brady said you don't give the kid. It's hard to give a kid the keys.
Yep.
So we got rid of a first Waldron and Eberflus after 8-9 games. And now Thomas Brown puts on this display. That was a bad game for him yesterday. A bad game for everybody. It was sick, to be honest, in a way there. I don't mind if the Bears lose. And I don't like the way they were losing at the end. But to be in the games and to come back. And here's another thing. And Aldo said it last week. Aldo says, Mike, sometimes he says to me, like in the hallway or something, why don't you ever listen to me? I go, I listen to you all the time, Aldo. I listen to you all the time. I really do. And you know what? I listen to some of the stuff he says that he's all Bears, but he sees things and he wonders about why this isn't happening. I mean, who was the kid that played wide receiver? I'm watching him catch passes for Atlanta yesterday.
Darnell Mooney.
My God. That's all you need to know. Oh, there's something wrong with Mooney. Yeah, he can't get open. Yeah, no, it couldn't have been the quarterbacks. It couldn't have been that they were calling bad plays. Couldn't have been that they were ignoring him. The kid's a stud now. Okay? And he's got even though the Cousins is hurting and stuff, and he's got that Achilles, he's got a pro quarterback throwing to him that's got experience. Same thing happened to Allen Robinson. Caught a bunch of balls with the Bears. They brought in Fields, and then he caught 60. And then they let him go. Every time you get a new quarterback in this nonsense that Caleb Williams is not going to be affected, he's already affected. He's already affected.
There's no doubt.
He's another guy that's got a big mouth that opened his mouth and told the punter, "Ha! We drafted a punter. We drafted a punt. You'll never punt. You got egg all over your face. Shut up. Shut up. And don't put the pictures of your new mansion up because you're going to be selling them in 2 years if you don't get better. I've seen more Bear quarterbacks put for sale signs in than any other species in this world. You know, boom, 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 boom. There's guys that got gold jackets. Chase Daniel, I love him, but he has a gold jacket. It's a commemorative piece given to him by Century 21 for all the wonderful places he used them for. I mean, I don't know. Hey, I got to ask you something, and I love Jace. I got to ask you something. Aldo, is this kid going to be Peyton Manning, or is he going to be Geno Smith?
Here's my answer.
Say what?
Thanks. You got that one. Elder was the guy at the table looking at his cards, and everybody's going, say hit me or stay. Say hit me or stay. Because we're playing here. Some guys First thing. This is the Bear Fun Show.
That's right.
Where we take our nepness and make jokes about it. Jonathan Vilma. I like him. He breaks down the game nice. But when it's 24-0, start tearing up the notes that Thomas Brown told you.
Thank you. Jeez.
It was 31-7 or something. He's going, this is the kind of, and Caleb would complete a pass for 5 yards. This is what I'm talking about. This is what Thomas Brown was telling us Friday. This is the type of football he wants to play. And then the next play fumbles. Jonathan Vilma, do me a favor. Look at your notes because you're inexperienced. TV, okay? TV analysts, football jobs is the only job, okay, where somebody like you or others can start at the top, okay? And then you're either going to go down like this or go up like Brady like that. You're going like this. Get off your notes once it looks like the notes don't match what's happening on the field, period. Mm-hmm. You were absolutely dreadful when they were getting their ass kicked, pretending like they were right in the game yesterday. That can't happen. Okay, now we also got the playoffs, the top 12 teams. I quit caring, okay, in the NCAA playoffs. I quit caring. It's a rigged event. It's rigged for certain teams to get in. Army lost one game to Notre Dame. They're like ranked 6th or 7th. They lost one game. SMU's in Alabama. Anybody from Alabama that's crying and you got 3 losses, shut up. Okay, go back to the general store, buy another 6-pack. Okay, enough. All right. Alabama's been in plenty of times, and a couple times, 2 or 3 when they didn't deserve it. All right. Number 3. I did one of my favorite shows last night, and I hope you tune into the bar room. And somebody big just died. I know because it was well watched. Mm-hmm. Because number 1, it was a beloved Bill Melton. Bill Melton was a great slugger. Hit 33 homers. He had 31 homers. He hit a ball over the roof at Comiskey. He tied Reggie Jackson one year, won the home run title another year. And I still say they win in 72, but he got hurt. Played only 57 games. And Richie Allen won the MVP that year. So I think Melton would have gone off, but he hurt 2 discs in his back. He was never the same, became a great analyst. I used to do a dueling Bill and Ozzie imitation. I don't know if I could still do it, but well, it looks like to me, Ozzie, that the White Sox are going to win this game 5-4. It don't matter what you know, they win the game, but you got to get the big shot. I understand that, but Ozzie Guillen, as the losses mount, his English gets worse, and as Believe me. Ozzie goes, the first game of the season. How you doing, everybody? And by the last game, I don't know. Y'all don't need no secret. And Bill would start out like this. Bill would start out in the beginning. Well, I think the Bears are going to be okay. And by the end, there's no doubt in my mind the White Sox are in trouble. So, to Bill Melton, we love you. We love you, buddy. We absolutely love you. And that was a fun show. It really was last night. So you got a lot of other things coming up. Tonight, we got the football game coming up. We'll talk more about that later. Don't forget, we got the picks. I'm 14-9 right now with the bar room. I was 1-0-1 yesterday on the odds couple. So I had a pretty good day. The easiest pick I ever made. I never went money line. I would have lost my ass if the Bears were to win that game. But when Carmen told me the 49ers are sideways, okay, Friday, I said, what are the Bears? The 49ers are sideways because of injuries. The Bears are sideways because of 19 other things.
Yeah.
Here. You know what this is, kid? This is harness racing. These are blinders. Okay? Here's the blinders. Here's the blinders for Detroit. The Super Bowl. Okay? Here's the Bears agendas. Here's the Bear. They got one of those collars that the dog wears. You know, when they got a big collar and they catch everything. You know? Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, that's a good idea. But that's, you know what? Tom Brady, once again, with anything goes, puts together. He's worth the money. I actually know where the analyst is at right now. Greg Olson's improved too. Mm-hmm. Greg Olson's improved too. And to the Chicago media, it's time for you to do what you're supposed to do. Except you folks from Medill. I know you bullshit. Except the Northwestern people. Write facts about the Bears. And when I say I'd clean house, and this will never happen, but a lot of the writers would be gone that have been there for too long. We'd have new writers, and you can write the truth, and you can say what you want on the air. If we suck, we suck. The White Sox lost their audience because they decided to get rid of Harry Carey and Jimmy Pearsall way back because they told the truth. And Reinsdorf's never lived it off. He's never lived it down. I tell the truth and don't let the Bears bend your arms. But I know that's what they do. Like I said last week, I heard somebody say all beat writers and columnists are now, for the most part, unless you're Rick Morrissey's pretty down now, are PR arms of the teams. So that's how I feel about that. So that's all I got. You got anything else, my friend?
Yeah, I just got a quick question for you.
I love when you have questions.
You brought up the college football tournament, and so you think it's rigged. Do you think that we should bet on it?
Oh, yeah. I'm not saying it's not rigged. I'm saying it's rigged about who gets in.
The selection committee.
But I will say this. They bought themselves credibility by keeping Alabama out. Mm-hmm. If Alabama would have gotten in with 3 losses to Vanderbilt, to Oklahoma, I mean, come on. These are bad losses. 6-6 team, Vanderbilt, they never lost to Vanderbilt, then they lose. They saved their credibility by keeping Alabama out. Because sometimes, I think some of the lowest TV ratings, the lowest TV rating ever was LSU versus Alabama, or one of those. Alabama, when you have Alabama versus Auburn for the national title, like they did that one year, it's 2 schools from Alabama. Nobody in New York or Chicago, for the most part, gives a rat's ass. This is going to have interest in everybody. So I'm happy. I'm a lot, they're going to have more SEC teams, but anyway.
My finger.
Raul Jewelers bought a bowl game. Raul Jewelers. You know what I'd like to do a bowl game of? You know what my favorite bowl game is? The worst 2 teams. The worst.
That would be awesome. Yes.
Here they are. There they are. It's ECU 0-11. They've scored 14 points all year, but they're looking for their first win. And against Valparaiso, a 1-10 team that's lost 7 in a row. We're looking forward to it. See you back after these.
I
My
love it.
God.
I'm,
right.
I'm sorry I interrupted you with that
all right.
faux pas.
love
All
it.
right, then let's move on to the next segment, which we call
Anything goes.
Yeah, I got to get my scoreboard up.
Get Your Scoreboard
NFL
Up, and I will
scoreboard.
again tell people about Rao Jewelers. They are located in Barrington Road, in Hoffman Estates. Head over there for that special Christmas gift for that special someone, and ask for Brad or Ryan. Or really, everyone on the staff there is absolutely tremendous, and
And they got beautiful girls there too. Beautiful.
They
women.
do. They do.
Can we say that in 2024, or do I get called in? Mike, Barroom Human Services wants to talk to you. Who's in charge of human services for the barroom? Vinny Parisi. What? Vinny Parisi and Tooch are in charge.
And they want to see you in the back room.
You walk in there like this. All right.
All right, what do you got?
All right, Lions 34. We go over the scores. Lions 34, Packers 31. This is going to be the first time maybe 3 teams from the Bears division get in, which is
Unbelievable.
Aldo will be at the graduation of his grandson for college.
That's right.
I'm not kidding you. All you have to do is know this. When the Chicago Bears went to the Super Bowl, you heard Aldo. When the Chicago Bears went to the Super Bowl, okay, I'm almost tearing up. I was 33. I'm 72. I'm starting to look like Robert Stack. Okay.
Robert Stack.
Hello, no. All right. Jesus.
Oh,
my
Lord.
Jaguars 10. Titans 6. My God. Will Levis, he's another one. Sorry. I can't buy him.
Yeah.
The Jaguars win a game without Trevor Lawrence. And that's You know? They were 2-10 with them. He gets hurt and they win.
How about that?
The Dolphins 32, the Jets 26. Aaron Rodgers. I had you yesterday +6. You land on the number? I had Aaron Rodgers +6. They're winning the whole game. But their defense sucks. But I'm here to tell Bear fans. They beat the Bears. Aaron Rodgers would beat the Bears.
Probably.
If you think I'm going to say that Aaron Rodgers, even with the Jets and Breece Hall and all those guys, would lose to the Bears, you got another thing coming. You know what? He keeps checking the schedule, hoping they're on the schedule. And they're not on it. So he's very down. I see he dyed his beard.
Oh, my gosh.
I see he dyed his beard brown again. You know?
Oh, Lord.
It's just absolutely brutal. One of the worst contracts in the history of the NFL. They lose 32-26. Vikings 42-21 over the Falcons. People jumped on the Falcons. I took the Vikings. I knew that they'd get Kirk Cousins fever. He's just not the same. I think if we've learned anything in the NFL, when you have 2 quarterbacks over 36, 37 years old, one that's 40, that just had Achilles tendon injuries, you don't give them big offers. They're just not the same guys. Cousins doesn't have any steam behind his passes. And Rodgers, I saw him 3 times yesterday get tackled, where in the old days, he would have evaded them. Mm-hmm. So they've lost their effectiveness. Saints 14, Giants 11. They say Dable, and there were rumors those guys would be gone, and they're coming back, they're saying. You cannot bring Dable and show him back. They're saying you cannot do that. They're 2-11. Danny Jones is going to turn into a good quarterback in Minnesota. They're going to probably let Sam Darnold walk, or maybe let Sam Darnold stay and play Danny Jones behind them, which is healthy. By the way, is Tyson Bagent still on the Bears?
Yeah, he played a couple plays last night.
Did he get in? Yeah. I must have shut it off. That's right. At the end, he handed off. I remember now.
Exactly.
I would have brought him into the 4th. But see, they're afraid what they'll see. Anyway, let's go to, and I mean in a good way. I mean, why don't you let the kid play it? He's at practice. He shows up, keeps his mouth shut.
Showcase him.
Yeah. Would you agree? Why are you
Yeah.
letting him rot on the bench?
Yep. I
Wait.
would showcase him for a possible trade or whatever.
Yeah.
Or maybe
mean,
he's better. Maybe he's better than Caleb. Then he
I
takes
was
the
waiting
job.
for that. Well, right now he might be, and we'd see what happened. But they're afraid they won't even let the guy get off the bench. That tells you where they're at as a football program. It's a sad situation there, folks. Eagles 22, Panthers 16. Bryce Young is going to be a Carolina Panther after getting the stench of Frank Reich and Thomas Brown off him last year and having it stick with him for a while this year where he was almost cut.
Mm-hmm.
He kept working with him. And it was his progress that's getting better. He had a pretty good game yesterday, and they almost beat the Eagles, who's a Super Bowl contending team.
And Mike, what about the Eagles? They're complaining about the offense. They're winning, but they're still bitching and moaning about the pass.
They must have bear fanitis, where bear fanitis outside of COVID and other illnesses is a serious illness. Their coach stumbled a little bit. Get rid of him! They went to the Super Bowl with the guy.
Unbelievable.
So they got bearitis. They win every week. But Andy Reid's a genius because they haven't covered in 9 weeks, Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it doesn't matter if you cover, guys. I wanted to win games. That's all I want to do is win. I don't give a damn if we win 3-2. I've always told Aldo that.
That's true.
That's it. I don't give a shit. I don't care if the guy goes 1 for 15. If we win 3-2, we win.
Mm-hmm.
We're losing our ass. All right. B goes, what happened? I go, nothing. I was just talking Bears. Steelers 27, Browns 14. Boy, the coach of the year is going to be tough. LaFleur from Green Bay. Our guy from Detroit. Tomlin.
The Vikings coach, O'Connell.
The Vikings coach. I just got to say, though, Tomlin won 4 out of 6 with Justin Fields. Somewhere along the line, you got to get a medal for that. Because
no shit.
I'm sorry. Swift, I mean, the Detroit's got they had everything in motion to have a great year. So did Green Bay. Minnesota, O'Connell, good quarterback coach. Harbaugh, no, he lost it last night. But good call. To me, I think it's Tomlin. 4-2, and then he brings in Russell Wilson. And what did everybody say? Well, they had bearitis. They said, what are you getting rid of Fields for? Are you out of your mind? You're going to let him get the court. And they never lose. They never lose. Tomlin did what the Bears don't do. He did his own thing. He don't care what people say. When somebody asks him a ridiculous question, Coach, is there any chance that you'd start Fields over? He just walks off the podium.
I love it.
He just walks off the podium.
I love it.
He's that good that he's not going to let anybody tell him how to run his football team, where the fan base and the ownership are in unison. But when things don't go wrong, what's wrong with them? No, you went along with everything. So that's the problem. Be like Tomlin. Don't take any crap from I love that guy, man. I love that guy. Because he wins. We have 2 receivers out. Really, who's our guys? Come on. North and Gandia. We can do it. We can win. They figure it out. They would figure it out.
Just throw it to North.
We lose a guy. Oh, my God. No. Right?
You're right.
He figures it out.
He's awesome. There's no doubt about it.
He's an unbelievable. They're all good coaches, but he's had, in my opinion, they picked the Pittsburgh Steelers to win 8.5 games over and under. I'm sorry, they're good. They're just bona fide.
Do you think that there will be a Chicago media person who will give Thomas Brown the Coach of the Year award?
Oh my God, are you kidding me? Well, here's what I do know. Yesterday, here's one thing. 2 of my very dear guys that I follow on Twitter. Mac, okay, who's on the South Side, done the show. Mac, he's a brother, not Dan McNeil. Mac, and the guys from Chicago Sports, and Greg Briggs, my buddy.
Mhm.
Mac and Braggs were going for Thomas Brown, okay, which by definition means we're in trouble. And then, because it's Thomas Brown, and the ass kicking yesterday, I think, has decided that. That's all I'm going to say. If they would have won yesterday, guess who's there? Me. Aldo knows it.
Oh.
Me. Damn it. You beat the San Francisco 49ers on the road. You need to win. I said you need to win 3 out of 5. You need 2 more games out of 4. You get those 2 more games and you go 3 out of 5. I'm putting you as coach because we're winning division games. We're winning games on the road, but we got our ass kicked. And
Really bad.
And nobody's got a leg to stand on today for him. So, and not even him.
Yep.
Not even him. He looked like he looked bad this morning. He looked bad. His whole world collapsed. He was this close to being the head coach of the Chicago Bears. All he's got to do is win a game, and they can't win a game, Al. They can't come from behind. And I was going to ask you about this. I got off the track earlier, which isn't hard to believe. You said last week, and I paid attention to what you said. You said last week, Mike, Williams is always nervous in the first 2-3 quarters. So I'm watching. And BB goes, what's wrong with this guy? And I said, Aldo said he's nervous. And I'm watching his feet. I'm watching him where he's throwing. You were absolutely right. And did you see the same thing yesterday?
Yeah, I did. I see this guy coming out of the tunnel first quarter. He's jittery. I don't know. I don't understand it.
And then when they got a big enough lead, he loosens up.
Yep.
So then he starts playing his game. But when it's 0-0, he clams up. So
yeah, got to correct that or bye-bye.
Oh boy, Elmo's riding with me. So Fisco, Pancho. All right. We got the Buccaneers 28, the Raiders 13. I can remember when people wanted Mayfield out of the league. He's one of the best quarterbacks in football.
He's got a lot of heart.
Guy comes to play every game. He plays with no fear.
Mm-hmm.
The Bears play with fear.
They sure do.
They play scared and not to lose. That was set down from the top all the way down to the bottom. Okay. Boy, the Seahawks, 30-18. My God, what a Geno Smith, who won comeback player of the year. And I told Aldo, what did he come back from? He always stunk. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
My God. He's comeback player. He's Geno Smith. 30-18. Great. I can't figure the Cardinals out. They're in trouble. 6-7. How about the Rams beating the Bills? Only in the NFL can Josh Allen run and throw for 3 touchdowns each.
Yeah, unbelievable.
And lose.
Unbelievable.
The Rams and Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford still got it, man. And Pakua, is that how you? They find these. Where they find? We can't find a guy in our backyards. They go to the islands.
Akunda
Matata. Look at that guy. Oh my God.
Paco Nakua.
Yeah, he's a stud. Where's he from? Is he from the Polynesian? There used to be a place I used to drink at called the Polynesian Village.
Yeah.
Remember?
I used to go
you walk in there, and after 3 of them, you're going, am I in Hawaii? And you'd be like this.
That's right.
They gave you doubles.
3 of their coconut drinks.
They had coconuts, and they had like hay. It was on right in the front. They had the Polynesian Village. So me and B go in there one night, and we had about 3 drinks, and B goes, Mike, and I was like, wow. I got my share, but the Polynesian Village, I was looking for a kayak. My God.
And the waiter looked like Paco Nakua.
I'm telling you, the waiters all look like Paco Nakua or whatever his name is. Or Olin Cruz. What else you need? Nothing. Just
exactly.
white ice. All right. 49ers 38, the Bears 13. I'm doing my Montgomery Clifton from here to eternity. Wow. Man.
Oh, man.
And then the Chiefs, 1917. Ryan Clark said this past week, Lamar, play like the MVP. Play like you are the best player in football. And Ryan Clark wears an RC here. A medallion. Okay, nice RC. Period. Which apparently means real clueless because Patrick Mahomes is the best player in football. Okay? I don't give a shit about stats stuffing regular season heroes like Lamar Jackson or Aaron Rodgers. Would I like Lamar Jackson and Aaron Rodgers even now on my teams? Probably. But if I wanted a stud, first of all, Josh Allen is the best player in football maybe right now if you're going to make an argument about Lamar's in the top 5 and he's an MVP twice. But you can't do what you did to Aaron Rodgers, give him 4 where he only wins 1 Super Bowl. You're going to give this guy a 3rd? Thank God he had a bad game when he's got 0 Super Bowls. I mean, let's think about this. Aaron Rodgers won more MVPs than Tom Brady. That's criminal.
That is.
That's criminal. I don't care what anybody says. Mahomes, yesterday, I'm watching the game, and I said they're going to win. This is the only team. I heard Rex Ryan saying they're not the best team in football because the games are close. We just had this discussion. This is how I wanted the Bears to play, and I didn't mind. 1917. They've won 2 weeks in a row, 1917, and they've lost in almost every statistical category except one. They have Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
That's the end of the game. At the end of the game, nobody believes. There's 2 guys, 3 guys, 4 guys. I'm trying to think of the guys. I think in my lifetime that I trusted at the end of games. Okay. Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Johnny Unitas, Art Starr. I'll give it 5, Patrick Mahomes. If the Packers were losing 14-13 and they needed 30 yards to get in field goal range, which back in the day you had to get to the 10-yard line, Art Starr would get you there. If they needed to beat the Bears with 2 minutes left, I never forget it. 1 minute, 35 seconds left, the bomb to Raymond Berry over Davey Witzel, 1964. If you need a touchdown, Joe Montana throws the ball to Dwight Clark. Clark goes up higher than he's ever gone. Tom Brady. Yeah, and I got to say, I'm a little tired of the Belichick stuff. I would like to see him go to North Carolina, though, because he said what he'd do, how he'd do. He's so smart. He's so smart. He says, if you want to go to the NFL, okay, so what he is he's the older version of Deion if he takes that North Carolina job. Because if Deion could put Colorado on the map, here's what he said today. They asked him on the McAfee show, because I saw the clip, what would you do? He goes, I'd say if you want to play in the NFL, if you want to learn how to stay in shape, how to be in shape for the NFL, if you want to learn how to win, if you want to be under a Super Bowl 6-time Super Bowl coach and a competent coaching staff, plus if you want to be prepared for later life, okay, if your football season ends or career ends at the end of college, you'll be ready. And if it ends after the pros, you will still be ready to tackle life. I've been in every type of situation. So I asked to send me. So I got a year of eligibility left because I would play for a guy like that. Deion Sanders and Bill Belichick in college football together would be awesome. So we'll see what happens.
Bill also said one quote, we're going to run an NFL program at the collegiate level.
I thought, oh my God, if I'm any good at all, I want to get a scholarship there.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard it before, though. Trent Dilfer can't get a win. Okay. Yeah. Trent Dilfer was on ESPN telling everybody every week, like Dan Nowitzki, like Nowitzki does, and like Greeny does, what they got to do. Rex Ryan does. And then they got a job. Then Trent Dilfer got a job, and he's getting batted around where he's at right now. So anyway, that's it for that. Now,
the part of the show everybody is waiting for.
Oh, yeah.
I have no questions, but people want to know. about tonight's game. Let me see. I got the odds up here.
There's Aaron Rodgers.
Dallas,
Wait a minute.
Cincinnati Bengals.
There's Aaron Rodgers. Let's take a look at him on the bench.
He probably thinks that's healthy for him to do that.
I could throw 4 touchdowns, run for 150 yards, win a Super Bowl championship, all in one day. But if they got me like this eating my booger, I'm not happy. Everybody knows you don't do it in a stadium full of people.
Absolutely. That
You
is
try to-
hilarious.
All right, Cowboys versus the Bengals. Here's what's going to happen tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, I'm 14-9. I'm having a fabulous year with Aldo. Well, I've had a fabulous since Aldo and I have been together. How long have we been together now? 6 years, 7?
6 years. Not bad.
Yeah. I know a guy that had 2 marriages didn't last that long. You know? Yeah. Anyway. You know, there's something to be said about talking once a week. Goes a long way for friendship. Cowboys. Hey, did you do Greg Gabriel today?
Yeah, I did.
How's
Yes.
he feeling? How's his mood?
He wants to do a show with you. He's had it. He's upset.
Of course he is. He's confident. All right. Cowboys versus Bengals. Dallas +5. You're going to take the Dallas +5, and you're going to take the under 50 tonight.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
I
Dallas
like
+5
those
and
two.
the under. Which one do you like? I'm going to change it. Which one do you like? No, I'm kidding.
The
Dallas
thing is,
+5 and the under 50.
the thing is Burrow can explode for 5 touchdowns. You know, so taking the under is risky.
Okay, and what can the other guy explode for? Maybe
Well,
not.
you know, that's Cooper Rush. That's
Cooper.
quarterbacking. Copper Rush.
Ooh, I'm Cooper Rush. Ooh, trading places.
Ah,
Wentworth. You know who I used to get on about that? Oh my God, who was the quarterback? There was a football player for the Bears that had had one of those names like Oglethorpe. I can't remember what his name is now.
Caposo.
Yeah, Bosa had a cool name though.
Yeah, that is a cool name. Oh, you're thinking about a bad name, a stupid name.
Oh, it's one of those. Oh, his name is. I forget. He was a linebacker with the Bears, and I just can't remember because I'm getting older now.
I hear you. Same here. By the way, Scottish Bear says you and I are the Richard Burton and Liz Taylor of Bears football.
First of all, let's discuss them because my next venture, when I get tired of the Bears, is going to be a movie show with Aldo.
That's right.
I want something pleasant.
Oh my gosh,
Liz
I'd love
Taylor.
to talk movies with you.
All you have to do is watch Richard Burton, okay, who was out of his fucking mind when he was off set, would drink all day and all night. Richard Harris, Peter O'Toole. Oliver Reed was the worst. He showed up to a plane just in a bathrobe, nothing else on. I mean, he was out of his mind. Read about Oliver Reed sometime.
Yeah.
The man could drink 30 like large Guinness at one sitting, plus whiskey, and then he climbed balconies. He was out of his mind. But I never understood the Burton Taylor matchup. I never got it.
Me neither. I'm with
I
you.
could not. First of all, he's English, okay, but Richard Burton, you could even see it in his movies, was half hungover in most of his movies,
I agree.
and I just never understood her fascination for him. And he used the jewelry, but she had nothing but money. But who knows? And the one movie that she hated, that she won the Academy Award for, was Butterfield 8.
Oh, did she win for that? Wow.
She hated that movie. She plays a prostitute. She put on weight for the movie, and she won the. Let me just check real sure. I want to make sure she gets it for Butterfield 8 because she was so mad because she's done other movies.
Mhm.
Butterfield 8. Who was in it?
Oh, I'm pretty sure she was in it.
Yeah. Did she win the Academy Award? That's right.
Butterfield 8 has a cast of 56 actors.
56.
Here are the first
Yeah,
three.
she won 1960.
Look at
So-
that.
Yeah, 1960. She wins for the one. I'll tell you another great movie. You ever see it, folks? And then we got to get out of here. National Velvet. if you ever watch it, Mickey Rooney and
Elizabeth Taylor.
Elizabeth Taylor are up in the mountains. They filmed it at Pebble Beach Golf Course.
Is that right?
In some of the scenes, you can see the sand traps. You can see the flag.
That's
He's
awesome.
talking to her up in the mountains, out in the mountainous area, and you see the ocean, and you see all that. So wait a minute, I got a call from the president.
It's George. Come over, save us.
Yeah, I'll call you back, pal. All right. He lets me call him pal. Anyway, what a good time we had today.
Hey, was it Alec Ogletree, the Bears player you were thinking of?
No,
Oh, well, we'll think of it next week.
Hunter
Hunter.
Mahan, or I forget.
Hunter Renfro.
Well, that guy is playing now. I'll find out.
Oh, that's right. He is.
This guy was back in the day, but there was
Hunter Hillenmeyer?
Yes, that's it.
Neil Stopchinski for the win.
He used to come in. He used to come on with me, and I'd introduce him like this. Ladies and gentlemen, I do my Reginald Van Gleason. It's time for the man, Hunter Hillenmeyer. And he loved it.
I love it.
I think to a certain point, and then he didn't love it anymore. But anyway.
By the way,
all right, great call.
Quickly, you're being asked about the flip phone.
They don't take pictures. Sorry.
Exactly.
You kiss your aunt. Next thing you know, you're in the Inquirer.
I love
My wife's got a phone we do. I got an iPad.
There you go. See?
You have a chain around it. Wear like Flava Flav. You know? All right, Aldo.
You're the absolute best, my friend.
We had fun today. Screw this. Bears ruining our fun. Well,
indeed.
We can sing them and then have fun.
We will see you all next week. Next Monday, it's Monday Night Football, so we'll be previewing the Bears-Vikings game. So that'll be interesting.
Oh, no.
Exactly.
You know what? They should bring Ditka back on the roller skates. Just have two people holding him.
Indeed.
Two people holding him. He's a little up there now, 85.
Indeed. Right. Goodbye, everybody.
All right, bye.